Hey everybody, Daniel Gaines here, just hopping on real quick. I ain't forgot about those documents. I'll try and get those done later. I do have a document I've got to type up and file later. Just learned that Juliet and her attorney are again playing more games. Apparently her attorney filed into the case again, and she filed a declaration, and yet again I've not received either. I'm in the link system. He can serve me. He can do this discovery of documents through the link system by giving me the documents through the link system. He has access to he knows my email address, so he has access to email me the documents. They know my mailing address, so they can send them via certified mail in accordance with the law. Yet this motherfucker keeps sending them to an attorney who no longer has a license to practice law. That's right. Juliet's attorney is intentionally sending documents to an attorney who is disbarred. All you got to do is go into the fucking link system, click on her name, and it'll take you right to the State Bar Association's page where it says disbarred. Right at the top, it cannot be missed. The fact that he's sending them to her is intentional on his behalf, all in an effort to try and prevent me from getting documents. So I'm going to have their documents thrown out. I'm going to do a filing today where I'm going to go off on these motherfuckers. I am going to go off on Juliet in a filing. I'm going off on her attorney, going off on the courts, going off on the clerks. They want to make some claims talking about I haven't done anything in all these years, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then. You just made this hearing a week long, dumbass. Because now this clown in the robe is going to listen to all 20 plus hours of recordings I have of the clerks where they're telling me the only way I can get access to the documents is to show up in person with an ID. They're also going to hear a lot of other recordings too, related to the same. So, you just made this a lot longer. And as far as you wanting attorney fees go, that ain't never going to happen. That's an excessive fee. I don't have to pay that regardless. And you claiming that Judge Johnson allowed this to go to Mason County, he allowed child custody. Keep in mind, I have these very courts, Pierce County, stating child custody and child support are two separate matters. Which means what went to Mason County was custody. Plus, that change of venue, void and illegal anyway. No notice sent to me. Can't do anything in a court without notifying all parties involved. Period. Can't even change fucking venue without notifying the parties. Let's see how this goes. Because it's in my filing. The purpose of all this is to go to appeal. Nothing else. It's not to fucking get a win. It's not to get my money back. It's not any of that. I already know none of that's going to happen to Tuesday. What will happen is I'll get a court order that I'll send for an appeal. And when this goes to appeal, every one of you are fucked. The appellate courts has the authority to remand people into custody. The appellate courts have the authority to send this to a criminal court to be looked into by a criminal judge. The appellate courts have the authority to award me all the damages and everything else I'm entitled to. So, that's what this is doing. The whole purpose is nothing more than to get to the appeals court. And I put that in the writings already. And I guess I'm going to include it again today in this one, whenever I type this one up. They want to keep lying. The courts are not going to do anything about the criminal conduct on behalf of Miss Parker and Mr. Downing. As such, they're proving even more that these are, in fact, kangaroo courts, that these courts feel that the law doesn't apply to people, or they can selectively apply the laws to people, which is not how it goes. It's literally all or nothing. Yeah, the appellate courts are going to have fun with this, because the appellate courts are going to take one fucking look at this and shit that these judges refuse to do anything about this when it's been brought to their attention. Because when you look at things, even Washington's own case law and case precedent, when it comes to void orders, relief is not discretionary matter. And that case law is already already in one of my filings and already submitted with the courts. They just like to lie. Juliet claims, my friend Melissa Roth served him in the state of Louisiana in compliance with Louisiana law. Go look up Louisiana law. Louisiana law as it relates to service of documents. See if I can have just a friend of mine show up and serve you. Look into Louisiana laws. Now, you really want to do this right, and you really want to apply the law that is applicable in this, go look at what service laws were in the state of Louisiana in 2004. Because they want to focus on today's laws, because they're slightly different than what they were in 2004. Louisiana still doesn't allow for the way the service was done, but Washington law now does, so that's why they're clinging to current service laws. But if you go look in 2004, and you look at the proof of service that I've already made public in the video, not this video, but another video, if you look at the proof of service, look up what Louisiana service laws were now and in 2004, you're going to see her proof of service not in compliance. And the standard for service of process is strict compliance. So, if she's not in compliance at all, and it requires strict compliance, I mean, you really can't make this shit up, people. But this is also the bullshit that men have to deal with when it comes to family law and all this shit. Especially when you're dealing with a corrupt fucking state like Washington. So, it's game on. I mean, it's legit game on. They're fucked. I'm coming hard, and I'm not going to stop. Worst case scenario, this puts me in an early grave. That's going to happen anyway. But the problem for these people is, I'm not going to live forever. And if I'm going to be put into an early grave over their criminal conduct, then maybe before I go, I should return the favor and engage in similar criminal conduct that shortens their life. I mean, fair is fair, right? Fair and equal under the law, right? I'm not saying I'm going to do anything, because I'm not, other than sue the fuck out of them. But fair is fair. They can't argue this with me. They can't debate this with me. Even the fucking FBI got shut down whenever I threw that up in their face. Fair is fucking fair. And if they're allowed to do this criminal conduct to me, that means I'm allowed to do the same conduct back to them. Because fair and equal under the law. Plus, I guess they forget, not I forget, but I guess they forget that the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, Articles of Confederation, and multiple of the Founding Fathers all state tyrants are to be removed from office by any means. Now, what the founders had in mind was those means being either vote them out through the democratic process, and if they refuse to abdicate that power or relinquish that power, that's what the purpose of the Second Amendment is for. See, the Constitution was written to protect we the people from the government, not the other way around. And the way that the Founding Fathers gave us the means to defend ourselves and protect ourselves against the government is with the Constitution, but when that's not enough, the Second Amendment will be. See, it ain't nothing to do with hunting or anything like that. The purpose of the Second Amendment, literally, the purpose of the Second Amendment is to prevent tyrants from taking over this country and our government. That includes state governments, federal governments, any government in this country. Tyrants are to be removed. And that's what I'm going to do. Only, I'm not going to go the route the founders did when they declared our independence. I'm going to go through the courts. I'm going to cost people their careers. I'm going to cost people their savings accounts and bank accounts. And then I'm going to cost them their freedom by pushing until they go to fucking jail. And that's going to start with Juliet and her fucking clown-ass attorney, Stephen Downing. So Stephen Chili, Stephen Downing, Steve O'Mac, whatever your fucking bitch-ass name is, you little fucking punk-ass bitch, just know I'm coming for you. And also just know, a simple assault charge I won't even spend a night in jail. And there's a few of you at this point, it'd be well worth the assault charge just to punch you in the fucking mouth at one good time. So Downing, I'm going to give you my word now. We ever meet face to face, since you want to lie and everything and want to engage in this criminal conduct and be as shady as you are, you're a man. I can hit you. So we ever come face to face, your jaw's getting fucking broke, bud. I give you my word on that. You can say it's a threat or anything you want. Go ahead. I'll play them this video and let them see where I said this. But freedom of speech says I can say what the fuck I want. It's whenever I act upon doing that it becomes a threat. And seeing as I have no intent for now to go to Washington, well, let's just say your broken jaw will be delayed. But there will be a point where we all have to be in the same courtroom. And I'm not above doing it there in a courtroom. Again, won't affect the outcome of the case at hand. It'll just be a charge on top of things. And I'll stop after one. When you're laying there fucking crying like a little bitch that you are, I won't need to continue. I'll have proven my point. So, just know, we ever meet, you're getting the left fucking hook, bud. Straight up. You, Miles Russell, fucking Jarrell Sanders, y'all getting the left hook. Might even give you that left cross, though, just because you're special, Downing. Yeah, I know, people, I shouldn't be saying this shit. I shouldn't be this childish and petty. I agree. I'll be the first to admit it. It's stupid. And chances are, well, I can't say that because at this point it really is 50-50 on if I actually would break his fucking jaw if I seen him. But he's caused me injury. So, fair and equal, right? Under the law, fair and equal. So if he's allowed to get away with causing me injury, that means I can do the same to him, right? See the situation they're placing themselves in? Not going to end well for them, I promise. We're going to see. But anyway, just wanted to give you all this quick update. I'll be back this evening. I actually just came home from my lunch break real quick. Running late this morning, forgot my lunch, so I had to come home to get food. Yeah, sometimes dumbass things are done by people. Like forgetting your lunch at home. It ain't the first time. Insomnia is a bitch. Especially whenever it's caused by other people and their criminal conduct. Again, all things I can prove, all things I have documentation from doctors and everything else about, or I can get the documentation. It's not an issue if I don't have it already. So, but anyway, I digress. I'll be back. I'll be working on this other filing around 5:30 my time, Central Standard Time. So once I get that done and get that filed, which will be tonight, I'll jump on and I'll go over to 3 documents that I filed in the renote. And then also at the 11th hour, and this is by design, I am also, Monday after the courts close, I'm going to be submitting my motion for summary judgment. Again, that's intentionally being done at the 11th hour because I want that to be included in his court order where he denies it. That way it's just more to add to the appeal. And I've already got the timeline worked out. It's 10 days for an appeal in the state of Washington. However, I'm buying myself a couple weeks because I've already got the revision done. I'm just waiting to add in what this clown gets wrong. That'll be filed Tuesday the 24th, the same day of the court hearing, provided they give me the documents. And then as soon as I get that filed, that hearing date will be a week or 2 out. And then while that's waiting, I will get my appeal all written out and everything else. That way, as soon as the judge rules against me or doesn't fully rule in my favor, then I file the appeal. There's no possibility that this does not go to appeal. Even if they 100% side with me, this is still going to the appellate courts. Because, well, in order for them to 100% side with me, the summary judgment would need to include the criminal conduct of all the judges involved and everything else. And seeing as they're not going to do that, they're going to run cover for them all. There's no way this doesn't go to appeals. And since we're being honest, I put in my court filing, the only reason I'm doing this renote, because that's what this is a renote. The only reason I renoted this hearing, and I'm doing this hearing, is to get it to the appellate courts, because the appellate courts are going to strengthen my lawsuit at the federal level. Because the appellate courts are going to find that what they've done is in fact criminal. They've violated my rights, improper proof of service of process, all this shit the appeals courts are going to find. I'm using the state's appellate court's case law. They have no choice. They're not going to overturn all this case law for me. I'm not that special. So, when they all get overturned on appeals, it strengthens my federal action. Because, see, I'm not stupid enough to put everything in the appeal. I'm intentionally going to leave some things with the appeal vague because it's custody related, whereas this issue is child support. So I can't really go into that on the appeal too much, but I can vaguely. Which means then the appellate courts can decide if they want to address that or not, which they won't do. They're only going to address the matter at hand. So that means when the appellate court finds that yes, service was improper and it was void, then that means everything else with it was also void due to improper service. That means child custody, that means the divorce decree, that means all of it. And at that point, I've already won. I've already won anyway. It's just a matter of jumping through these last few fucking hoops. Because this is going to the appeals court. Period. It's the whole purpose of this. Just to get it to appeals. Just to end this bullshit for good. They had the option to deal with it correctly from the start. They refused. They're the ones who thought I was too stupid to know the fucking laws. Now it's coming back to bite them in the ass. So, y'all have a good day. I love y'all. I'll be back later. And whenever I come back later, there's a lot of laws and case law in these documents. A lot. So, y'all be ready to pause and jot shit down, take notes or whatever you need to do. Because anybody else out there who's going through the same shit, this case law is applicable to you too and will help you too. Especially considering it revolves around void orders. So, I love y'all. I'll be back later. Have a good one. Peace.